Against the wall. This is your home. Welcome back, and thank you very, 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 so very much for tuning in. And we would really appreciate, if singaba consistency. It's always good when you start something, you see revolution. We started picking a new direction, and we started working towards that way. God has been good. We are gravitating towards positivity on a daily. We see a change of heart, change of minds. Feedback siyayithola, and also please don't forget to like, to subscribe, so that the channel grows. So kunale button, click libhaliwe like, lithi subscribe. Just make sure so that you become part of our family. You don't have to be an ex-inmate, an ex-offender, ibhantiti, or a reject of the society, or a black sheep of the family. I know ukuthi camera ayikho kimi, abantu ababhaya babheke yellow bhobo ukuthi endoda kwahlala yellow bone, and then lo bekwa yini la baqabanga shoplifting, bacabanga, I'm sure seningagesa ukuthi sana ungenele nor ubulala indoda la. There you have it. Just shoot in, unganyakazi. You are going to get it data from Usisi Melda Leshalabe. So I met this lady many months back. Bang invitile ngize Pitori ubrasoli mankhalabi mangfika hey ngiyabheka ngithi no lo ngathi uya actor. I'm not quite too sure if ungena vele ungenele into nizala idanyane or bamgaye uniform. And at that time bengivaya no, I think the former MEC umama usizakele Nkosi Malobane, besine team nje nabantu besithora nabo, and it was a wonderful show. We had to share a stage ngelinye ilanga. So I know the work that you've been doing, and we just want to know ukuthi how have you been doing, and the family, did you manage ukuthi uthi as in ngiyabuya egamini or uyabhayiziseka babhaya abantu, and we need the truth and nothing but the truth. Ngicela ubulelisa abantu re tlo bua language ya heno re tshilo ra rena re tlo improvise subtitle di tla kena isigale.
All right. Many thank yous, Skeem. It's an absolute pleasure to be here today. It's an honor, actually. Kalina ke Melda Leshalabe ke tswa gae Limpopo Phokwane, not no isang gaba samola ke tswa gama samola go tumeje di highs and everything, but no, it's actually quite small village called Phokwane. I am the first child to my mom and dad, the Ritre. I've got a beautiful, stunning, intelligent daughter. To answer your question, Skeem, look, the last time I saw you, it was me going to the parole board and me going to the parole board with an employment letter from the Skeem GP, which also played a very, very vital element in me being an ex-offender today. It wasn't easy. I remember I had to come work with you at some point in time, but due to the location and due to finances, then it could not be possible. It was very unfortunate. Mara ke tla reng, such is life, eh? But ke tswela 2018. I came back and the society was just ke tswetse ke le Mamelodi. I kept to myself. My family keeps to themselves, but I could not run away from that correctional vehicle that comes every time ke tlo signa. The society did not. Azange ba nkamogela gabotse. Well, they have their things. They have their own issues. Like you said, Komatomong, you're not the first person who actually thinks and thought that I was given the correction attire just to look good in it and to actually be what they want them to, what they want me to be. I was actually really incarcerated for 11 years. My 5 years was suspended. I served 6 years concurrently, and I was charged for fraud, forgery, and identity theft. No, it was not shoplifting. It was quite heavy. I got a smallanyana, spacingana, because some company that today does not want me to reveal them, but they took me in. They took me in despite my criminal record. They took me in, banka. I started from the bottom, from being a mere receptionist, cleaning their tables, literally picking up the papers, mafazi, because you don't have a choice. somebody must just do it because you have bills to pay, you have got a daughter to take care of, you've got your own life to actually come back to. I'm still there. I've been there from 2019. I'm not a receptionist anymore. I'm an office administrator, but I believe I am destined for greater things than just being stuck in an office. Yeah.
Wow. So you believe in second chance? Do you think God
I
has been really good in as much as, towards the resistance from the society or community? They are not obligated, by the way, gore ba re receive or ba le receive. It's a work in progress, And once you create a doubt in someone's mind, go na le batho ba bang, because of the senseless acts and crimes. Remember when you, by default, u forge something and u defraud motho. That person who collapses a system ya high. So of course, badula bali wantswara. And then let's say go na le robbery, but ba bang they don't even recover from the taba tsa di hijacking,
Well, Themba, that is really true. Got my sentencing, I was told by the judge, if they were to put Nale a murderer here, I am the worst criminal ever. Because my crime is a crime of the mind. It's an intelligent crime. So I am worse than a person who'd actually kill someone. Because mind you, with one of the things that I was charged with was identity theft. So they believed that I could be anybody, whoever, anytime I chose to be. I guess it comes with being a rainbow nation. Yeah. So it was quite easy. It's really, really, really very easy gore o tlwaele a life of crime. To me, it was just introduced. It was introduced to me. At that time, at that time I was 21. Themba, I was a kid. And to me, prison was a mere, like people in prison are bad people. People in prison deserve to be in prison. Literally, they need to die there because they are very bad. And then I'm one of, every time I do shows, Themba, I always say that in one of your previous podcasts, you spoke about how rehabilitation is a societal responsibility, but I believe you and I speak the same voice when we say that rehabilitation is indeed an individual choice.
Personal.
You take that ball. It's your decision whether you're gonna run with it, you're gonna learn what Romans do in prison, or you're gonna be a better you. And I chose that. That lady that you saw in 2017 at Khoshimampuru prison was a changed lady. It took me 2 years to actually accept. My family do not allow me to talk about it every day because they're still trying to. It's been 10 years. I'm 32 this year. I got arrested when I was 21 pregnant. And my whole trial, I was pregnant. Literally, my tummy grew in front of my magistrate. I was denied bail because I was the most baddest, cruelest criminal at that time. And when my baby first kicked, I was in cell 15. I cried every single day because that was a world I did not know existed. I left Ngwana Anale a year and 3 months. That's when I got my sentencing, Kadi 10 April 2015. I remember that day vividly when I turned around and looked at my mom. She was shattered. When I'm saying if mama ka my mom is a cat.
And then how bua ntwengwe, the eyes are brown, miriri ke magoa. Go motlhobo mang pila pila?
Wena nagana re ke motlhobo mang?
O stew.
Danko, I'm a stew, bana ke stew beef, stew chicken, I like king there. Well, I do not consider myself as being colored. Ke mopedi thui. Ke mo bina hlanhlagana. My mom is a purebred Pedi. And my father is actually a mixture of Indian and Scottish. So I will not look Indian because he was not the darker side of Indian, but he was the lighter side of the Indian side.
Oh, unali madi a magoa.
Yeah, ke nagana gore that's why ke rata tšhelete so tsankilo.
That's why it's why it's a white collar.
Yeah.
Take us through the crime. Wa itse a kere wa bona o bua ntho tse ina le terminology gore ke eng it's only the casual,
Yeah.
but someone at home they don't even understand gore ntho ke eng. What kind of crime, what crime was this that you committed?
Yo, well, when they explained to me, they told me it's a crime of everything. When that's about ke white collar crime, that is ke crime ya ditšhelete, crime ya intelligence, crime ya that it's there but it's not there, and then others might say it's a criminal offense because I took somebody's identity and I made it my own.
Yeah.
And what I did, well, I wouldn't say I'm the mastermind. There were people behind me, and all I did was take somebody's ID, be that person for a day, go to a bank, apply for a loan. It was so easy to get a consultant to actually say yes to me. I could literally walk away with 250,000 just like that. And nobody would ask me questions because I mean, I am Ntabiseng. I am
And
Lerato.
Wabua,
There
yeah.
isn't any Lerato except me. And if there is another Lerato, she must then tell you guys hore ke mang, because ke nna Themba. You know, so I could be anything. If I were to told the broad ek was daar. Alles was net a walk in the park. Yeah.
Yes, yes. So, okay, just before we Danyane, haba magistrate danza toloka and gona le toliki ka mo, gona le prosecutor. Case yako, was it that complicated or it was just straightforward because of the overwhelming evidence, or they had to prove beyond reasonable doubt?
Themba, they called my case breadcrumbs. But I didn't understand what breadcrumbs king. But you know what? You've done this more than 15 times. So I went to Kopela Magistrate Taiwan.
Yeah.
And then thinking ke tlo kry-a bail, bare bail denied, bail opposed due to the breadcrumbs.
Yeah.
So they knew gore there is a trail that they were following. Yeah. That specific bank ke kgale e mpatla. So it didn't matter which bank, which location, which province. Kokusalayo, if I was going to get into that bank, bengeke ke boe. I was not even going to come back. So magistrate denied bail at a further investigation.
Yeah.
That's when I realized that is about to hit the fan.
You said Ben and the Kak.
I was burning the car.
So,
too
beguna ma witnesses
deep.
because yako.
No.
Yeah. So the bank be complainant or when a bentilang a paper trail pela.
Well, the bank was a complaint. Was the complainant Mara? All those people that Nikile Bona.
Yeah.
My kimang this guy. This guy who investigates, presiding
officer.
officer.
Investigating officer.
You know, he made sure he gets each and every one of those women
or to come and testify. Yeah.
With my forgery, I ruined their lives, like you said. With every fraud I did, credit bureau, the person is like has existed. Like I just ruined somebody's life. That's when I realized, thought, okay, because the people behind me, don't worry, insurance will pay. You're not harming anybody.
Yeah.
The bank has insurance; they will pay. So I was like, okay, azanka Themba. I never thought for a second that that child would literally go to prison. It was not part of the plan. It was not a part of my plan. My plan was to be the best gynecologist, you know, someone can school, work, be the best, unyale, have kids, you know. Yeah, that fairy tale. That was my life.
Okay. Because there's always a seed that's planted. It's either you were hanging around the wrong crowds, or it's either vele when I know Shabela who the movie, Tabo Robert De Niro, and then wa create an appetite, or love lust, or love of money, or a boyfriend. Mhlawumbe umuntu vele onezinto akutsheli ayenze ngama-ulterior motive to say no man mamela isipani sakho sisimple wena wenza 1 2 3 4 5. How did you find yourself uzula?
The day of my sentencing, I remember my advocate saying that please be lenient on Melda because this was a crime of passion. And right then there, he tried. There was a case abroad that was mainly also similar to my case, passion, but At that time, it was already too late. The court thought I was only showing remorse because I do not want to go to prison. In a nutshell, all of this fraud was introduced to me by a boyfriend. So I thought to myself, you know what? A woman needs to stretch their hand so far for a man. He taught me fraud. He taught me how to get into a bank. But at the other hand, I do not want to sit here and be a hypocrite and say that I did not come to the party.
Yeah.
He did not put a gun to my head. Tjhelete ya gagwe ke ya ka. You know, I fraud. It's his money. You know, it was not that thing. All I cared about then was just being in that relationship and keeping that relationship. No, it's not from my family.
Yeah.
They were there. My family thought ke sekolong, studying business management, only to think I know Shem. I am busy with other extramural activities, which is not school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but in terms of justice, because Angiti, this is an educational show. In as much as we are talking about prison, we are not only embracing the stories of crime. People need to learn a thing or two about, the hardships abantu abahlangana nazo. So, in terms of justice, do you think justice court prevail? And in terms of the people who, in this case, are victims, do you think they really enjoy justice after my cases are sentencing? Or do you feel that our courts are the ones that decide in as much as in a case depending on the defense?
Well, I strongly believe that it depends on the case.
Mm-hmm.
It's so unfortunate that we live in a society where if you do not have money, you cannot literally get whatever you want. Courts play a very, very, very huge role in how a case will turn out. In famous cases, we all know somewhere, somehow, the less privileged, the less moneyed take the fall.
Yeah.
And then in our situations, we find ourselves where, you know what, that person who's on the other side of the gate, the person you have wronged, believe you me, Themba, they find pleasure. They find rejoice in you being kotronkong. When the magistrate says you are sentenced to 10 years, oh my goodness, Bona, you deserve it, you deserve to be there. Yeah. And I strongly believe that we need to change that mindset. There is more to life than prison. There are better ways in correcting a person than actually taking them to prison. Only to find out you're going to produce a criminal. You're going to produce a person who will rape. You're going to produce a person who will later on, after incarceration, commit suicide, like you always preach, Themba.
But what's another form of sentencing for someone who's mad at someone? Katie McKenzie is very strict with that. He tells you straight, Guti, if I take today that shared union buildings, tomorrow morning you kill, I kill you. Simple as that.
Well, I guess that thing, I think I'll blame that part. It made it so easy or a life for a life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now when you're saying there are other forms of sentencing, angithi bayenza lento le. Kwesinye isikhathi bayakutshela ukuthi no, hamukezi imoto zamaphoyisa laphana, bakushaya nge-suspended sentence, but they look into your case in depth, complicated, difficult, and dangerous be case. Then that nature case will inform the output or the outcome from the court. Remember, kune chain lapan. Utoliko umuntu okhulumayo just to say I disseminate information. Ukhuluma into ekhulunywa, but magistrate as a judge is the last man standing.
Of course.
His word is final. Now, information iyatestwa through the prosecution. Abame ngapha nama lawyers wako. So that is why I'm saying if I've got a senior counselor, then ngine instructing attorney, ngine advocate, I'm more likely ukuthi i-case ngenze ukuthi ngibe exempted or I can get away with murder. So now, are you saying money plays a big role? Because abantu abaphethe inyuku kwamampela mpela uthola ukuthi abangena, they will never get to experience into a prison. So are we saying now we live in a mafia state where yonke into is centralized and is controlled by money? Then are we therefore suggesting ukuthi uSkeem uye eDanyane bekayibharo or bekangana nyuku, uMelda ungena eDanyane, so icourt ispane kanjani, ufike kanjani ejele?
Hi, yes, Themba. Umele beyibhari nje. Yes, umele like ama resources, like ama advocates were right, you know? Umele like all the things and all the aspects that could literally keep us out of jail.
Yeah.
And like I believe in this society that we live in now, Themba, how's na chalete shamai? Unoba aramas capsules, wait.
Yeah.
on the RMS capsules, and ke jere 2 years ke le ko tronkong ke le RMS capsules. You know what? If maybe I had money for an advocate,
Yeah.
something would have turned out. You know, I would have been, because I was 21 at that age. You know, I was still a kid, not really a kid. Maar niks salongwana. They could have. I was a first time offender.
Yeah.
And there was a mastermind behind me.
Yeah.
So at some point, I felt, you know what? The system is unfair to me, but then on the other hand, it was, you know what? I did the crime.
Yeah.
I got into the bank.
You must do the
and
time.
I need to do the time.
Yeah.
I've served my time. I Themba Lukhele wa bua, or you've served your time. O sevile forward, fast forward.
Yeah.
I've done that too.
Yeah.
And
So-
I'm not going back.
Awukoloti motho, no.
I ke kolota motho, ha ke kolota state, ha ke kolota
Yeah, but
motho.
sometimes I get the victims, they feel, no, this was just a minimum sentence. Actually, it's about maximize the sentencing. How do we quantify or would no lo gatle deserves a life sentence? What is the life sentence? Well, it can be 13, yaba 20, yaba 25, whatever the case is. But in the end, abantu bayenza 17, 16, 18, depending on our activities owenza ejail. So now let's talk about the role edlalwa imali through the courts. Mangithi change narrative, man. We were talking about Danyane kuyalalwa, repana, mbobo yonke into ziyenzeka. But now I want us to talk about the role ye court nemali ehamba brown envelopes to the magistrates, to the prosecutors, because i system le makukhuluma abo Melda angithi uthe wena I was lacking resources, but if I had money benginendlela itsela bengizothola a solid a backup team, representatives, and then or bengizoyimokola direct case. So what are your thoughts around the issue emali, and also what could be done in courts, because we need to call each other out. Even if we are saying, the system is flawed, means it's said something very powerful. What is Skeem? Do you know ukuthi abantu abasentenzwa amacala abenziwa basentenzwa ecourt? Young Misa goqala. What? No. It doesn't matter ukuthi wenze ini nani. I-magistrate unokuthi uyenzile into bakukhiphe scot free. Tisele umuntu akavayo. Unokuthi ungayenzanga bakuhlakaze because ubhayizila ukhonanga ukuzirepresenta. Angazi uyangithola. So let's talk about the money, and also wrongfully accused and arrested people. Sihlale ejele, we talk about these things.
You know, nako ke le Khoshmampuru scheme na go tlile this bunch of school kids. The no naba this toing thing. I think it was TUT kids. One person can dirling that whole thing, and then everybody was there for stand and cake. I'm like, okay, stand and cake. No, we just stood there. Everybody was fighting. And then we just got there. So when the system comes, it took all of them. So now they are there, wrongfully accused. Barabana, they were stand and cake, but then it does not work. So with that whole exercise, I've learned, or you know what, if something is not directed to you, just walk away. Walk away, Themba, and just ijamudilong. That will also help minimize wrongful accusements. We live in a society where today motho o re o dirile something, let's say nna ke bolaile motho, and then yes ne ke le a murderer vele, and then somebody knows. Someone knows, okay, that one ki molai. So if we paint her with that brush, it will sit. That is wrongful. That's just being wrongfully accused. So, Themba, I really do not know how we can get into people's mindsets and actually change that. And Tabaya Chaleta, I for one feel we found it there. But we can try. We can try and get stakeholders and get people like you, people like me as well, who can actually speak and be the voice of the voiceless. Money is not everything. Money is not everything. I learned that. Through my incarceration, I learned sometimes God puts you in a situation that will not only destroy you, but it will uplift you. I went Kotronkong thinking I'm wrongfully accused because I'm not the mastermind, Themba. I'm just the mule.
We collateral damage.
Yeah, we understand that. I'm that collateral damage. I'm that person that was there, who is Melda, well spoken, and who can just pull it off.
Yeah.
And I did my time. You don't find me sa strateng. Hey, yo, neki le tronkong, nek sansor ki sa tronkong. If Hawaii no sansor ho ngwana mang.
Okay. So now Motoli challenge a city back mema a bank. But can you please come? There's an opportunity. We want you to educate people. Hore ba noche ba kgone ho check di notes hore yetsala jwang crime. Are you up for that? Because akere society tla o judge or ke itlwetse crime. In as much as you are saying, okay, let me create awareness now and talk to the communities to say, mo now emi ko lining as a please make sure the potla di tletse ntho ya hao e dutse hantle ha o kena ko kasi o ska bula di window sharp sound. You are inviting the perpetrators or the assailant. So actually it's a please call me for crime or etsale ko wena. So if ba o bitsa go di banking, you take are you up for it gore no batla o lo motivator and talk about my real life story.
I always tell my friends, Hore, speaking about something helps. This is the first time ever that I ever get to, during my TV interviews, nobody asks me this. Themba, you're the first person ever to actually ask, would I want to make a difference? I would really want to make a difference because in me making a difference in somebody else's life, kahila. I literally heal. Nobody wakes up every day and asks me, Melda,
Yeah.
like everybody thinks I'm okay because of this whole face. But you realize your dreams are shattered through other people's things. And then you have to always make sure you step up because nobody cares about you. And prison taught me that. Prison taught me that do not step on people's toes, but step on their heads.
Yeah.
Because this life owes you nothing, Themba.
Yeah.
You're the first person to actually ask me, would I go to a bank? I am terrified of a bank, Themba. Hey! Banka ka pele moya. When I see prison, banka ke bona those 6 men who came. Bala baba kholo, thank you so much. Bala baba kholo, coming to arrest me. Go rent back. O kare ke bolaile motho. That is the last thing. That is the last image I have ka bank. So it would be taking me back, Themba, and I don't think nka etsa ke le one. I wouldn't go to a bank and actually talk to a whole community because bank ke trauma for me. It's an
So do you think
actual
that sentencing
trauma.
thing did something to you?
It
really hit you hard.
It really hit me hard. It hit me hard, so hard that I do not want people to be a Melda. I do not want young girls who were like me 10 years ago to actually walk in my footsteps.
Yeah.
Because we live in a society where women think, Libila no, Themba Basadi, they make it so bad. Orbalalo today, tomorrow it's rape.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then forgetting about the boy child.
Yeah.
Forgetting about that man. You know? I'm an advocacy of building women. I fix women's crown.
Yeah.
Nobody fixes my crown. Themba, they'll tell you, oh, what the bona? Yellow bone. I get that every day. I get that black backlash every day. But if I were to given an opportunity to get banking, Haisham, I don't think I can't do this alone.
Yeah.
Because I'm only human, Lynn.
On Hopotsa interview that I've done with one of our guests, a lady, Nohal, and she literally broke down and cried. Hakim Mutsa gore mfethu, are you okay? Are you really okay? Are why it's mo killing ko teng? It's hectic. Themba, I would go 3 days without anything to eat, and people don't care. And I'm not saying but I tell you, this is the real life story. Maybe me talking, ke yona nje confidence gore okay ke na le plug ke kgona ho bua. Ho fela o phapa because batho ha ba mpatle. I'm a reject, someone need, and it's very difficult for me. So how long did it take you to fix? At least now, because sometimes saying is fitlile and right by jump to alone a criminal record.
Not a lot. I've been with the same company who welcomed me in 2019. I'm due for graduations with the correctional services. I hopefully this month. My N6 in business management is completed. When I got my certificate at N6 June, I thought to myself, wow, this is my big break. I've been sending out my CV, Mara. Hi, Kasham. It gets lost somewhere. So nobody really came to the party except my family.
So if let's say God forbid azange ba unka mo ba unkileng ko teng ka bo etsahalang ka wena? Can you
Yo,
paint that
Sham.
picture?
Hi, Sham. I would just be living off my mom. And
Thank you. Stand out.
Yeah.
Or via tshwantse o kene ko banneng. You are forced go dilong tse ding gore no itse keng la relationship sa etse sense tshwantse ke dula because this is the only way. But anyway, I want us to zoom into the negative, you know, and the most painful experiences that you still remember vividly that happened to you. How you go tronko, like leaving your child firstly, ngwana omnyane just under 2 years. And tswantsa hole a ke tsebe ne ba mmolela hore wena o ko kae o etsang. Then when you go to prison, batho ba lose batho and
I think the hardest thing was being called Kadi 10th November 2015. I was like 6 months into my sentence. Bang pija go officing, and I thought to myself, what did I do? I was not a problematic lepantit. No. I think I'm one of those mapantitis who flew the banner. Your correction's very high. But that day I thought to myself, Nekeleko, Johannesburg female. I got into that office and they told me, sit down. I sat down. I said, what's going on? And they told me that, unfortunately, your dad has passed away. It hit me hard because the only people who knew Orkekokai was my mom and my dad. The whole family thought Keko Skolong. They thought Keko UCT. So today, I still blame myself for the death of Pap because he died of a heart attack. I feel somewhere, somehow, it was just too much. And Mama, I can check out Tronkong Upper Black Themba, and you can't do anything about it. She lost the daughter, got 2015. She lost the husband, got 2015. It was just one of those things. Because I was not a problematic Lepantiti, I was given a chance to go and bury my father. Banchije de Koloi Themba, they took out to the state resources, Banchije EST. I was escorted by 4 cars, unmarked black beamers, to Limpopo to bury my dad. I got there and I told them, luckily for me, it was just grace. I got there and I told them, Sarsans, I can't do this. I cannot let my mom, Nagoya Khaga, to bury her husband, be turned into a circus. Mind you, Themba, they are there, but sort of those big guns of theirs. But their mandate is to escort, protect, and be around me 24/7. I didn't bury my dad. It was only last week when we buried my grandfather, I went to see my dad's grave after so many years. I sit there, go to Koloing, under a tree, come next door. And those people, Sham, they didn't say, hi, are you wasting state resources? You took us out here to bury your father. Let us go bury your father. I did not get out of that car. I sat in that car. I looked at my house. I didn't see my mom. I didn't see my daughter. I didn't see my brothers. It was just my sisters coming to the car. Balla, are you okay? I'm like, Kishab.
They was off as a chain.
No. But I was in correctional attire. I was in my blue and white written corrections. Those bamponi, that's when did you see her? Did you see her? That's when I gave in to my first interview, Lili Sholas Chaba, and I was like, you know what? Khwaswan. You know? Bamponi, I cannot hide it forever. You know, it was just so painful. I didn't see my mom until next July, then the year after, 2016. And then November 2015, I had the best captain ever. Captain Kanye was the best. She's still the best today. She sat me down and said, you know what, your support system is so far away from Johannesburg and you are a wreck. let us transfer you to Hoshimampur. That is about November, December, before Operation Vala.
Yeah.
You can't even, Themba, on the movements.
Yeah.
They made my transfer, they moved me to Hoshimampuru, and to this day, Kiamolaba Captain Kanye for taking me to Hoshimampuru, because had I stayed, go female ya Josie, I wouldn't be a business management N6 graduate today.
Pick up.
I wouldn't have embarked on a journey at school. Na status in school. I decided, you know what, I'm going to be the change that I want to see in myself, and I'm going to be the change that I want to see in young girls that are like me, or who think a life that I lived is perks. It's not. Kikene skolo, go tronkong. I took part in all those activities to Ezrek. I was part of the Ezrek committee for 2 years. That's how I got to meet you. Had I kept to myself in that cocoon, baby tang, I don't think I'd be sitting with you here today. And I don't think I'd be half the woman that I am today, if it wasn't for taking that step, taking that charge. You know what? It is done. I am serving my time, but how will I serve my time? Kikene skolo, Themba. Kikene skolo. I went to Busasa school, Kabashefu. I honestly this program in prison, they call it Pillar to Post. Yeah. I was part of the Pillar to Post. My mandate was just to change one person's life. Hey, it's a young girl would come to me and say, you know what, Melda, I'm in grade 10. My boyfriend Neri Kimurumele nude pictures to show that I love him. And I sent those nude pictures, and now they're circulating at school. I do not know what to do with myself. They kill themselves. Bana. That's when I knew, hey, maybe that's why I get tronko. Because there are young girls and young boys out there who are really going through a lot. Who are really going through it all, Themba.
Ladies and gents, you still tuned in. This is Against the Wall. Kiplomilele Melda Leshalabe, who has changed her life. She has turned her life around, and God has been good. I'm just hoping ukuthi someone is learning at home. Ngoba kaningi when you're talking about these stories, people think ukuthi man, labantu laba bayaringa, but I think i-platform yokuthi abantu babe famous, they've had it. Omunye umuntu ubhadalile fully, and now mabathi you are reformed, you are developed, you are rehabilitated. This is what we are talking about, rehabilitation. But now also ngifuna ukubuyisela emuva in terms of this rehabilitation esikhuluma ngayo. Out of 10 people uba one umuntu okhuluma njengomelda. What happens to the 9? Is it because banamakhanda aqinile, or is system it's leaking nayo ngokwayo? I know you're talking about one, but there are many abafeel ukuthi no kahle kahle lento rehabilitation ayimi man isimoshela isikhathi. So I'm sure you are a living testimony. Now you've been seeing people who cannot come back after prison.
Themba, I was invited to go Hoshimampuru Women's Day this last month, and I didn't know those banditis in there. You know what, guys? It is such an awesome feeling to sit here and talk to mapantiti amams, which means mapantiti in my era did not. And are not coming back. That was so affiliating and affiliating. Or you know what? Nele posho. We learned from our mistakes. And we really do. The people Themba, those shoplifters, who literally find home in prison.
Okay. Abana life.
Ish.
So how did you kill time in prison? Or when now we spend ile jwang nako ya how? Akere ke tsona di games tse kaofela. Le wena no na le mbobo ya how, because everyone of fitleng go show, I've interviewed ladies so far 10 out of 10 ne bana le dimbobo ka mola o mong na le malomo wena never usinda wena ule so there is no taboo.
You know how I spent my time in prison?
Yeah.
I call myself Hoshimanpuru's brand ambassador.
Yeah.
My time, I didn't have time to idle around. I wish I did. I studied. I used to study. The first time I've been to the Western Cape was through prison. I was representing the Gauteng region at the Fundam Zanzi. With Tapusia Kamela. I was part of those authors and those book stories, book storytelling. Nakili athletics, you'd find me there.
Yeah.
Public speaking, I would, as kam khoblelang vele orobya. they used to put me as the first introduction.
Yeah.
Harazari public speaking, because they know that I will draw the attention. Believe me, Coach Mampuro would walk away with that top 3. Yeah, crown. Ibana would take a trophy. I Themba did not have time to idle Kotronkong. My journey in prison was a mere learning curve. It was just there for me to actually be a better me.
No, I still remember. I'm not sure. I think the Tamale Ray. We came to see you go Sun City.
Yes.
National competition or something. They've moved you from Kokoshmamborla to Sun City. What was happening?
Wasn't it netball?
Yeah, I'm not quite too sure, but I still remember. Or no, kids on the activities.
It was those. It was the public speaking. We had I think it was one of our Women's Day speeches where I remember my first sentences was, "A woman is a full circle. Within her is the power to nurture, to produce, and to conquer." And right there, my Sarsant then was Tembili, Sarsant Tembi, Sarsant Zweli. They knew right there, hey, Khashmampur is taking this home. That's when I realized, hey man, the gynecology and the doctor that I once dreamed of was not really meant for me. I knew in prison I can actually get.
So in closing, how about your boyfriend when?
No, what's the podcast I figured man the world's I thought to myself, I think I was just being blonde or I was just not interested in what they were doing, but it was just nothing.
You know, there's one thing that you need to know about this podcast, ne? Izotluka ke. Ngifuna ukuthi njalo mase ungaba a great storyteller or great storytelling. But the thing is, kunalento esibiza the fact finding mission. Abantu, they are very negative and people are very judgmental. So sometimes, siyamamela ne, kunalento abayibiza objective journalism. You read something, immediately you are a believer. Sometimes ushebise pampiri kofatsi ure hey amabhilidi awisa abantu eJozi kanti awuboni ukuthi iphepha libheke phansi. So here when I talk to someone, I want us to talk about something ezothi mayibuyisha iboomerang. There is no one ozobuya I know there's a hole angangena ngayo, there's a window. We need to make sure we are closing all the and remember, we are not justifying and explaining. Mara kunabantu bophila nabo ejele. Someone might come ngibona lama video trendayo manje kuvele enye out like hey abo bani bomama kuyagezwa nani ngithi awisusile bavele bamngene 100 yabo ukuthi endoda ungcolo unje wena uzositshela ke. So nawe njengoba ukhuluma kanje, there are people abahleli badose Sun City manje bana access, now they are ready to respond and fire to say this yellow bone bengeka sinde kithi abomalume. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, siyabonga man, siyabonga. We really thank you. I so hope ukuthi ngathi singaba na 2-3 hours so that's a conversation le. This is not a courtroom. Mara, thank you for opening up. Stories ka Melda, Leshalabe. Anyone who comes here to this show, ukhuluma experience yakhe, ukhuluma history yakhe, if you've been there, done that, you know what it means. She just bought the t-shirt. Now she came back. Now she's leading the pack. In life ichangile. God is good. He has picked you up, turned your life around. And we must always be grateful for the gift of life. Second chance, the opportunity. Yoguti is going to kuluma, ventilate the issues, to reason with young people as well. Masambe ikolweni. So, ladies and gentlemen, Melda, ngizocela share ama number wakhe. It's very good. Mara mhlambe laser spices ama yellow bone kuzovele ibe flooded lento le. Mani mfuna kunama number wala nizamthola through Brasoli. And then so that siyenze lento ibe ne protocol. I'm not an agent. Yaga Sis Melda. Your last words, Sis Melda. Here is the camera. Any message to young people, beautiful young girls abayaya fika vuke kusasa athi bangirapile bangamrepanga khuluma into engekho omunye usafila ukuthi no i-crime man mhlambe yindlela yokuphila. Na i-camera yakho as we are signing off and we are out.
Hi Melda. Hi Melda wannabe. Hi potential Melda. You need to realize that bophelo ka monna ha bo patele. And the biggest part of it all is crime does not pay and it will never pay. Take whatever that you have, run with it, ball with it, and believe you me, the grass is always greener on the other side. Please, Themba, can I just say, it was an absolute pleasure to be here. I'll go bed. Yeah, no, I'll go bed. I thought you would grill me, but it was not a courtroom at all. Thank you so much. I think today I'll sleep a better sleep than I was because I believe I am changed. kganyane than the person that I was before that podcast.
Thank you so very much. Ladies and gents, we are out.